Clara, I noticed that during our project update today, some of my points were not fully addressed. It can be a bit challenging when you want to contribute, but the conversation moves on so quickly.
I understand that, Victor. In an active work environment, being heard is not about speaking the loudest. It is about how you structure your professional presence so that others naturally appreciate your input.
That is exactly what I am looking for. I want to improve my communication to ensure it is clear and professional for the team.
Today, we are going to focus on that exact skill. Welcome to Business English for Success. I am Clara, and together with Victor, we will share practical methods to help you speak with clarity and confidence.
We have a very practical flow for you today. We will look at how to use the professional pause, how to select precise words for better logic, and how to conclude your points effectively.
And for those who stay until the end, we have a specialized practice session with key professional phrases you can start applying in your workplace tomorrow. Let's start with our first focus, establishing your presence right from the beginning of a conversation.
Clara, have you ever started speaking in a meeting, but you could tell that colleagues were still checking their emails or looking at their phones? It makes it quite difficult to maintain a confident flow.
That is a frequent situation, Victor. Many people try to address this by speaking louder or faster, but that often has the opposite result. The professional way to handle this is to use the composed opening.
The composed opening? How does that work in a real office setting?
Instead of jumping straight into the details, you start with a short, clear statement of purpose and then pause for exactly 2 seconds. This silent moment signals to everyone that an important point is being made. It creates a professional space for people to listen.
So it is about giving the audience a moment to adjust their focus to you.
Precisely. Let's listen to how this works when sharing a professional suggestion for a project.
Before we move to the next topic, I have a specific observation regarding our current project timeline that I believe is important for us to consider.
Please go ahead, Victor. We are listening.
Thank you. After reviewing the latest data, I recommend that we refine our resource allocation for the final stage. This adjustment will ensure that our team maintains a high level of quality while keeping the workload balanced.
I appreciate that perspective. It sounds like you are focused on long-term efficiency.
Exactly. By making these small changes now, we can achieve a more stable result for the entire department.
Did you notice the difference? If Victor had said, "Sorry, can I just say something quickly? I think maybe we should change the plan because I have some questions about the timing," it would sound uncertain.
Yes, using words like sorry and just makes the suggestion feel less significant. It makes the listener feel like they are doing you a favor by listening.
Exactly. But by using the phrase, "I have a specific observation," followed by a pause, you demonstrate professional composure. The listeners feel that your contribution is well prepared and objective. Now, let's practice 2 of the key phrases for this situation.
First, the opening phrase. Please repeat after me, slowly and clearly. I have a specific observation that I believe is important for us to consider.
Now let's try it again with a more confident, professional intonation. I have a specific observation that I believe is important for us to consider. Great job! This phrase is very helpful for shifting the focus of a conversation toward your ideas. Now that you have everyone's attention, the next step is even more important. How do you explain a complex idea so clearly that no one has to ask you to repeat yourself?
That is an interesting task. Sometimes I have so much information that I don't know where to start.
We have a specific structure for that, called the logic map. Let's see how you can use it to make your technical explanations feel simple and professional.
Clara, sometimes when I have to explain a technical update or a detailed plan,
I see people starting to look away. I feel like I am providing too much information at once.
That is a common experience, Victor. When we share too many details without a clear path, the listener's brain naturally finds it hard to process. To address this, we use a strategy called the framework first approach.
The framework first? Does that mean I should provide a summary before the details?
Exactly. Instead of walking them through every small step, you give them the map first. You tell them exactly how many points you will cover. This helps the listener organize the information in their head as you speak.
So it's like giving them the folders before we give them the files.
Precisely. It creates a feeling of professional organization. Let's see how Victor uses this to explain a complex change in a department process.
I would like to share the update regarding our new workflow. To keep this clear, I have organized my points into 3 specific areas: the reason for the change, the immediate steps, and the long-term benefits.
That sounds very organized, Victor. Let's start with the reason for the change.
Certainly. First, we are refining our communication tools to ensure better coordination. Second, the immediate steps involve a brief training session for the team. And finally, the long-term benefit is a 10% reduction in our weekly reporting time.
I appreciate the clarity. Having those 3 points made it very easy to follow your reasoning.
I'm glad it helped. I wanted to ensure everyone feels comfortable with the new direction.
Notice how Victor started. If he had said, "So we're changing things because the old way was inefficient and there are a lot of things to do, like training and emails, and hopefully it saves time later," it would feel unorganized.
Yes, that sounds like I am just thinking out loud. It doesn't demonstrate much confidence in the plan.
Exactly. When you say, "I have organized my points into 3 specific areas," you are demonstrating leadership. You are telling the listener that you have already processed the complexity for them. They feel respected because you are providing clear, relevant information. Let's practice the framework sentence. It is a very effective tool for any professional presentation. Please repeat after me. To keep this clear, I have organized my points into 3 specific areas. Now, let's practice a phrase to introduce the benefits clearly. The long-term benefit is a significant improvement in our daily coordination. Excellent. You can feel the professional tone in those sentences.
That logic really helps when I am the one speaking.
But, Clara, what happens when someone disagrees with my logic? That is when I usually feel less steady.
That is a very important point, Victor. Disagreement is natural in business, but the way you respond to it determines your professional authority.
Should I just repeat my points more firmly?
Not exactly. In the next part, we will explore the logic validation technique. It's a way to acknowledge a different view without losing your position. It is the secret to staying professional even during a professional debate.
Clara, I find it quite difficult when I present an idea and someone immediately has a different view. I usually feel a bit defensive, and then the conversation becomes less productive.
That is a very natural reaction, Victor. However, in a professional setting, appearing defensive can impact your authority. Instead, we use a technique called professional acknowledgement.
Does that mean I have to agree with them even if I have a different opinion?
Not at all. It means you validate their reasoning before you explain your own. By using the phrase, "from your perspective," you show that you are listening. This lowers the tension and allows for a constructive discussion.
I see. So I am acknowledging their point of view to keep the conversation moving forward.
Exactly. It shows that you are focused on the best result for the team, not just on being right. Let's hear how this sounds in a discussion about a project deadline. Victor, I hear your suggestion about the new timeline, but I'm concerned that our current capacity might be limited for a Friday finish.
I appreciate that point, Clara. From your perspective, a steady pace ensures we maintain our quality standards. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly. I don't want the team to feel overextended.
I agree that quality is our priority. Perhaps we can look at a middle ground. What if we adjust the internal review process first? This way, we can maintain our progress while ensuring the accuracy you are prioritizing.
That sounds like a very reasonable path forward. I'm comfortable with that adjustment. Notice the shift in the atmosphere. If Victor had said, "But I already checked the resources, your point is incorrect, we can do it," the conversation would have become a professional disagreement.
Yes, that sounds quite pushy. It makes the other person feel less willing to continue the dialogue.
Precisely. But when you say, "I appreciate that focus on quality," you are turning a potential disagreement into professional cooperation. You are not losing your position. You are building a bridge to a solution. The listener feels heard, which makes them much more likely to listen to your next point. Let's practice 2 key phrases that will help you maintain your professional composure in any discussion. Please repeat after me with a calm and professional tone. I appreciate that focus on quality from your perspective. Now let's practice how to suggest a middle ground. Perhaps we can look at a middle ground to ensure our standards are met. Well done. These phrases are excellent for maintaining a positive professional environment.
Using those phrases really makes me feel more in control of the situation.
It does, Victor, but there is one more level to master. Sometimes it's not about disagreement. It's about sharing your expertise without appearing overconfident.
That's true. I want people to trust my experience, but I don't want to sound like I'm focusing too much on myself.
That is where data-supported expertise comes in. In the next part, we will show you how to use facts and past results to let your experience speak for itself. It is a quiet but powerful way to lead a conversation.
Clara, I often feel that when I suggest a new direction, there is some uncertainty about whether it will actually work. I want to demonstrate my competence, but saying I am an expert feels quite inappropriate in a professional setting.
You are right, Victor. In professional business English, expertise is demonstrated through results, not just stated. Instead of using personal opinions, we use a strategy called the evidence link.
The evidence link? Does that mean I should provide a full report for every small suggestion?
Not at all. It means linking your current suggestion to a specific past result or a clear metric. By using the phrase, "My recommendation is based on," you shift the focus from personal ego to objective facts.
I see. So the data supports my professional position, so I don't have to explain my background every time.
Exactly. It creates a sense of quiet authority that is very reliable. Let's hear how Victor uses this to reassure a colleague about a new process. Victor, I'm interested in your plan, but how can we be sure this new coordination method will improve our results?
That is a fair point, Clara. My recommendation is based on the 15% increase in operational efficiency we achieved in the previous quarter using a similar model.
Oh, I remember that project. The results were indeed very consistent.
Precisely. By observing the same patterns in our current data, I believe these specific adjustments will support a higher level of quality for the whole team.
I appreciate the objective approach, Victor. It makes the decision-making process much smoother for everyone. Notice how Victor handled the uncertainty. If he had said, "Trust me, I have been doing this for years. I know this is the best way," it would sound like he is dismissing the colleague's perspective.
Yes, that sounds a bit overconfident and doesn't provide any actual evidence. It might make people feel hesitant about the plan.
Exactly. But when you use "my recommendation is based on specific data," you are acting as a partner in the process. You are providing evidence that makes the listener feel secure. Professionalism is about making others feel confident in the shared path forward. Let's practice 2 phrases that will help you link your ideas to proven results.
Please repeat after me, focusing on a clear and professional tone. My recommendation is based on the positive results we achieved in the previous quarter.
Now, let's practice how to show professional observation. By observing the same patterns in our current data, I believe this is a reliable direction.
Excellent. You are building a very strong professional vocabulary. I feel much more confident when I have facts to support my words. It takes the pressure off me personally.
It does, Victor. And that leads us to our final and most advanced level of communication. What do you do when a situation changes unexpectedly? How do you lead a team through a transition while maintaining a positive focus?
That sounds like true leadership. It's about providing a clear vision when things are uncertain.
Precisely. In our final part, we will explore the perspective shift. We will show you how to frame a challenge as a professional opportunity for progress. It is the ultimate skill for any leader.
Clara, a complex situation for me is when there is an unexpected change in our industry or company regulations. Everyone feels a bit uncertain, and I want to communicate this without adding to their concerns.
This is where true professional communication becomes leadership, Victor. Many people focus on the difficulty of the change. A professional leader focuses on the opportunity for refinement.
So instead of focusing on what we are losing, we focus on how we can improve our standards?
Precisely. We use a strategy called the constructive framework. You acknowledge the new facts, but you immediately link them to long-term value. This provides the team with a sense of purpose and stability.
I see. It's about guiding the team toward a productive mindset instead of just reacting to the news.
Exactly. Let's observe how Victor uses this approach to discuss new industry standards with the team.
I've been reviewing the recent updates to our industry regulations. While these new requirements involve extra steps, I believe we should view this as an opportunity to refine our professional approach.
That is an interesting perspective, Victor. Some of the team members are concerned about the additional workload.
I understand that. However, if we look at it from a broader perspective, these protocols help us ensure a higher level of quality for our clients. By adopting these standards early, we are building more sustainable value for the organization.
So you're saying this shift makes our professional position even more reliable in the long run?
Exactly. This is about professional coordination with the future of the market. It's a chance for us to refine our internal processes and provide a model for others to follow.
Notice the language Victor chose. If he had said, "The new rules are a significant complication and we are going to face many obstacles in finishing our tasks on time," it would create a heavy atmosphere.
Yes, that makes everyone feel like they are just waiting for a negative result. It doesn't give them any reason to maintain their efforts.
Exactly. But when you use phrases like refine our professional approach and sustainable value, you are providing a clear direction. You aren't ignoring the facts, you are changing the logic of the situation to focus on growth and quality. This is how you inspire confidence through your choice of words. This is our final and most advanced practice session. These phrases are perfect for leading a team meeting. Please repeat after me with a clear and steady voice. I believe we should view this as an opportunity to refine our professional approach. Now, let's practice the phrase for long-term value. By adopting these standards, we are building more sustainable value for our clients. Excellent. You are now practicing English at a true leadership level.
These 5 situations have completely changed how I think about communication. It's not just about the words, it's about the mindset.
You are absolutely right, Victor. And before we finish, we have summarized the most important key professional phrases from today's session in our power recap.
This is the part you don't want to miss if you want to remember everything we discussed and apply it to your work tomorrow.
We have covered a lot of ground today, Clara. From the composed opening to leading through change, I feel like my professional vocabulary has become much more precise.
It is wonderful to hear that, Victor. If you had to select just one technique to apply in your office tomorrow, which one would it be?
I think the composed opening with that 2-second pause is very powerful. It is a simple way to demonstrate professional presence without saying a word. What about you, Clara?
For me, it is the perspective shift. Being able to view a new regulation as an opportunity for refinement is the mark of a true leader. It creates a very positive energy for the team.
I agree. And to our viewers, we are curious about your experience. Which of these 5 situations do you encounter most often in your current role?
Please share your thoughts in the comments. We read every response because your real-world experiences help us create better content for your professional development.
Your insights might even help another professional who is navigating the same situation. Now, for those who want to fix these phrases into their memory, let's move to our final practice station.
In this final session, we have selected the key professional phrases from today's discussion. We will practice using a step-by-step method to ensure you feel confident applying them tomorrow.
Let's begin. Victor will provide the clear model, and Clara will focus on the professional intonation. Please repeat after each turn. I have a specific observation that I believe is important for us to consider.
I have a specific observation that I believe is important for us to consider.
A great opening. This phrase is perfect for starting a professional discussion. To keep this clear, I have organized my points into 3 specific areas.
To keep this clear, I have organized my points into 3 specific areas.
Excellent. Using a clear structure shows your professional logic.
I appreciate that focus on quality from your perspective. I appreciate that focus on quality from your perspective.
Well done. This is how you build cooperation even during a professional debate. My recommendation is based on the positive results we achieved in the previous quarter.
My recommendation is based on the positive results we achieved in the previous quarter.
Very precise. Linking your ideas to data builds immediate trust. I believe we should view this as an opportunity to refine our professional approach.
I believe we should view this as an opportunity to refine our professional approach.
That was excellent. This is the language of a professional leader.
We are refining our communication tools to ensure better coordination. We are refining our communication tools to ensure better coordination.
Very clear pronunciation. Focus on that steady rhythm. Perhaps we can look at a middle ground to ensure our standards are met.
Perhaps we can look at a middle ground to ensure our standards are met.
I like the calm tone you were using. This builds a very professional atmosphere. By observing the same patterns in our data, I believe this is a reliable direction.
By observing the same patterns in our data, I believe this is a reliable direction.
Great job! Your professional authority is becoming much stronger with every phrase. This adjustment will ensure that our team maintains a high level of quality.
This adjustment will ensure that our team maintains a high level of quality.
Very consistent. You are focusing on the positive long-term result. By adopting these standards, we are building more sustainable value for our clients.
By adopting these standards, we are building more sustainable value for our clients.
Perfect. This final phrase demonstrates true professional vision.
I am very impressed with your focus today. Remember, a professional presence is built through consistent, small improvements.
Thank you for joining us at Business English for Success. Every phrase you practice today is a step toward a more respected professional identity.
We would love to hear which technique you found most helpful. Feel free to connect with us in the comments.
We look forward to seeing your continued progress in our next session. Until then, stay professional and stay consistent.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.